This is the lighting breakdown and the behind the scenes of how Encourage shot these images. I had the opportunity to be present at the shoots, so I'll share with you guys the type of lights he used, how many lights he used, and how he placed those lights. And also, you can copy these light settings if you want to try it out for your next photo shoot. For those of you who don't know, let me tell you a quick story. In 2021, I decided to learn photography and I had zero knowledge about photography. Encourage was the person who taught me photography and also how to retouch images. So basically, Encourage is my boss. Okay, let's break down the setup. We're going to start with the type of camera and lens he used, so we're going to move on to the type of light he used. Now for the camera, if I come to my color and under my base characteristics, I'm going to see the kind of camera I use. So he uses the Sony a7 III, and for this headshot, the lens he used was the 85mm. While for this other shot, he used the 28mm for this shot. For this one, he also used the 85mm. So when I'm breaking down the setup, I'm going to be telling you the camera settings he uses and also the type of lens he uses. All right. So let's start with this headshot right here. Now for this headshot right here, as you can see from the BTS, he uses a 4-light setup and a reflector. So the first light is coming from the top, which is a speed light. Another yellow speed light is coming from the left, while this blue picture right here is an 8200 and it's coming from the right side. And the key light is the 8600 and this umbrella right here. So I'm just going to open this image inside of Photoshop and just do a quick breakdown. Now let's start with the key light. So the key light is this 8600 right here on this umbrella soft box. So it's a soft light and it just illuminates the face. So the key light is coming from this direction and just making the face bright like that. All right. So that's for the key light and it's an 8600. Now let's talk about the rim light that is illuminating this part of the face. So you can see this rim light right there. It's coming from this light source right here, this blue light, just hitting this part of the face. And this light is an 8200, got us 8200, and it's on the cone, and it just illuminated that part of the face to add that rim light to the image. So that's the rim light you can see on the face right there. Okay. Now, this other yellow light right here is coming from a speed light, which is this speed light right here, and it just illuminating this other side of the face just to add another rim light, a yellow rim light to this part of the face. While the hair light is coming from this other speed light at the top. So this speed light also is hitting this part of the image, which is illuminating that part of the hair. And this reflector right here is just bouncing light off of this soft box, right? So any light that is hitting the face, this reflector is just bouncing it back just to illuminate some parts of the shadows. So this is the light breakdown for this headshot right here. All right. So the main light is hitting the subject. The blue light is this trim light you can see. While this other light right here is the yellow trim light. The hair light is this other one. But the reflector is bouncing light off of this main light and just illuminating the shadow just to open up the shadow a little bit. So that's how Encourage got this shot right here. And for the camera settings he used, like I said earlier, he uses Sony a7 III and also he uses the 85mm for this headshots. And for the camera settings, the ISO is on 64, as you can see. The shutter speed is 1/60th of a second, while the aperture is on f4. And the lens he uses for this headshot is 85mm. So that's how Encourage got this shot right here. And this is just the raw file straight out of camera. Now for this other image right here, now from the BTS, as you can see, this image was supposed to be shot with a 6-light setup, but some lights did not fire, and also the position of some lights changes, which I'm going to be explaining in a bit. Now for the camera settings, Encourage shot this image with an 85mm lens, ISO of 50, shutter speed of 1/60th of a second, and an aperture of f4. So I'm going to open this image out of Photoshop right now so we can do the breakdown. Now once you open this image out of Photoshop, you can see that a couple of changes. This 8200 right here facing the background, this one right here. So instead of this light to face the background, Encourage changed it to make it face the water, just to illuminate the water right here. And also, this light right here did not fire. So this light is not part of this image, so it does not fire. Now those are the only changes. Instead of this 8600 to face the background, is now pointing to the water just to illuminate the water like that. All right. Now let's start with the key light. So our key light is the 8600, which is the key light, and it's on a cone with a wide diffuser and is what is illuminating the subject face from this direction, just to illuminate the subject face, as you can see. And we also have another 8600 right here as a fill light. So this is on a cone, but there's no diffuser. We're just using it to fill the shadow, just to open up the shadow coming from these parts of the image, like that. Now this light that is illuminating the hair, this yellow color right here, that is falling on the hair and also falling on this part of the image, it's from this speed light right here, and it's gelled with a yellow gel. So it just comes from the top to illuminate the hair, just to separate the subject from the background a little bit like that. So that's for the hair light. Now this red light on the background is coming from this speed light right here, and there's a red gel on it. So that's what's spraying to the background and just making the background red like that. And finally, for this light right here is the 8200 BM. Instead of pointing it to the background, which is this light right here, instead of pointing to the background, we just turn it to the water, just to illuminate the water like that. So that's how NCOURAGE got this shot. And for the smoke, NCOURAGE uses a smoke machine as the Kobo fog machine. It's a portable fog machine, just to add moods to the overall image. So this is the 5 light setup NCOURAGE use. We have our 8600 as our key light, our 8600 as our fill light. We have our background light, which is this gel light. We have our hair light, which is this light right here, just illuminating the hair. And finally, this 8200 right here, just pointing at the water, just to illuminate the water. So that's how NCOURAGE got these shots right here. So if you want to recreate it, you can actually take this light setup and use it to recreate your own image if you want to do that. Now for this next image right here, the light setup is very similar to this image right here, but there are a few changes. So as you can see from the BTS, NCOURAGE introduced a smooth machine, and it's a 5 light setup, very similar to the previous light setup we talked about. So let's break it down. Before we break it down, for the camera settings, it's the same thing as this image right here. So ISO 50, shutter speed of 1/60 of a second, aperture of f4, and an 85 mm lens. So I'm going to open this image out of Photoshop right now. Let's break it down. So this is a screenshot from the video, and I'm just going to place the image I want to put down on top of it. Now let's bring the light setup down, but there are a few changes. So this 8200 right here, instead of fixing the background, all right, NCOURAGE will just point it to the water right here. So that is the only changes on this image. All right, now let's start with our key light. Our key light is the 8600 on a cone with a diffuser, and it's just making this part of the image bright, as you can see. So this is what is giving the shine on the image right here. While for this optical snoot effect for the background, it's coming from this snoot right here, and it's placed on an 8600 as well, which is just making this circular shape that you are seeing right here. So it's coming from this light right here. Now the light facing the water is the 8200, and it's on a cone. So initially it was supposed to be on the background, but NCOURAGE just turned it to point to water, just to illuminate the water. Alright. Now this light coming from this part of the image, this red gel, like a rim light, as you are seeing right here, it's coming from this speed light right here. So this speed light right here is what is giving that red rim light on the face, as you can see. And finally, we have the hair light, and it's another speed light, and just coming from the top, just to illuminate the hair, and also this yellow you are seeing on the shoulder right there. So that is the 5 light setup. So that's how NCOURAGE got this particular shot right here. So if you like this particular look and you want to create it, you can basically copy this light setup and use it for your own image. All right, let's talk about this shot right here, which is my favorite shot, and let us break down the light setup NCOURAGE used to shoot this particular image. From the behind the scene, this image was shot with a 4 light setup, and he uses the 28mm to shoot this particular image. So let's just quickly look at the camera settings before we do the breakdown. So like I said earlier, this particular image was shot with a 28mm, and also the ISO is on 64, and the shutter speed is on 1/60 of a second, and the aperture is on f4. Alright, so we're going to open this image out of Photoshop right now so we can do the breakdown. Now this is a screenshot from the behind the scene video, and I'm not going to place my image on top of it. Now for our key light, which is this light right here, it's a 8600, and it's on a cone, and a diffuser is what is just illuminating the subject from this direction right here, as you can see. Now if I zoom in, you can see this yellow light as on the forehead, and this yellow light reflection showing on the water. I just added a yellow flip to the image. It's from this top light right here, which is a speed light, and it's on a yellow gel, just pointing down on the image, just to add that yellow feel to the image, as you can see. All right, so it's gelled with a yellow gel. Now this light right here is not functional, so I'm going to cancel this light. This light did not fire, so it's not part of this breakdown. Now we have another fill light right here, which is our 8600 again. So this other 8600 is a fill light, all right, and it's what is illuminating the subject from this direction, just to make this particular place bright. So this one right here is our key light, all right. So we have our key light, our fill light, our top light, which is this yellow light right here, and finally we have this blue light right here. And for this blue light right here, which is just reflecting blues to this part of the image, all right, so it's coming from this light right here. So this guy pulled a speed light, and that is what is reflecting that blue light on our image. So if I turn off this image right here, you can see it's just pointing towards the water. So this light right here is pointing towards the water, and that is what is making this part of the image blue. So those are the 4 lights he uses to shoot this image, and this is by far my favorite image from this shoot. And finally, let's break down how NCOURAGE shot this particular image right here. Now from the BTS, you can see our key light is this big umbrella right here, just to illuminate the subject and just give a soft light to our subject. And we have a top light just to separate the subject from the background. And also we have another side light, like a rain light. Now for this other view of the BTS, NCOURAGE now introduced 2 more lights. One is the 8200 and it has a blue gel around it, while the other one is a speed light with a blue gel on it as well, which is giving these 2 blue lights, as you can see right here. Now let's break this light down. Now for the settings, NCOURAGE uses an 85mm lens, and the aperture is on f4. Shutter speed is on 1/60th of a second, while ISO is on ISO 200. So I'm going to open this image out of Photoshop right now so we can do the lighting breakdown. So once I open Photoshop, I'm just going to put that image on top of this image. Now let's start with the key light. So this is our key light right here, the 8600, and it's on a big umbrella, which just added that soft light to our image. So it's coming from this direction just to illuminate our subject. So that's our key lights. Now this red light you are seeing right here is coming from this speed light right here. So this speed light is what is giving that red light you are seeing at the edges of this image right here. Okay. Now if I zoom in, you can see there is a yellow tint on the hair and also the yellow tint on this background right here. And this is what is giving that yellow tint, is the top light. So this top light right here is a speed light, and it's what is giving that yellow tint. So this light right here just illuminates to this direction, and it's just giving that tint you are seeing on the forehead like that. All right. Now for this blue gel, let me just use this one right here to explain it. Okay. Now this blue gel light coming from this particular part of the image, this part right here, is coming from this light right here, head by happiness. All right. So this blue light right here, as it fires, it's what is giving that blue look you are seeing from this direction right here. Why this other blue gel right here, this other green light, this one coming from this direction, all right, is this light right here, this 8200 on the blue gel. It's what is giving that light. So just point it into the water, is what is giving that blue light right there. So that is the light breakdown of how NCOURAGE actually shot this image right there. And there's some beautiful images that actually came out from the shoot. And if you like anyone or you want to create any look, you can actually use this light setup and you are going to get similar images. And if you want to learn how I retouch my images from start to finish, you can check out this video right here. I'll see you guys in my next one. Stay creative.